Okay, well there, now at least I have a mic again. There. So definitely the mic is currently just set, like basically normally I have it set through my sound manager. It is not currently set through my sound manager. I just have it running straight off the mic, but I have no clue why my sound manager's failed on me. Hey Long Hauler, how's it going? No face, no voice, just video games. I don't know. Basically, I'll put up a little donation box at the top, be like, $100, unlock James's voice. Until then, I am just a mute. I can only communicate through typing. I mean, I'm currently saving up for a microphone. If people want to buy me the microphone, that's fine. The problem is I want to spend a few $100s on a microphone. So it's not easy to just... What am I doing here? Okay, so here's where I need to deliver logs to. I don't currently have the logs, so I need to... Okay, so here's where I'm going. There's where I'm coming from. Could go north, that means I only have one section of bad road. Or I could go through here and it's shorter, but I've got more sections of bad road. I don't know which is going to be the better one to go. I think you're right. Hit the nail on the head there, one. Got a face for radio and a voice for silent film. Okay, well, let's just bounce our way along this little road. We'll see how bad this road is when I'm fully loaded with logs. I might do this run once and then immediately decide that this is the worst choice. Whoa, hold on. Let's not go bouncing. Thank you for the donation, Joey. Just let me... Hold on. Make that adjustment, but where? Why is this being so difficult? Okay, I'm gonna do this the cheating way. Okay. Damn it, log hauler. I was just there. $64 remaining. 64 is a good number. You can stay at 64 for a while. I won't complain. Okay, there. Now carry on our way. Yeah, it was definitely the counter stalled out for quite a while, but also last year oh, damn it. All right, time to go recover that. Actually, hold on. What do you mean I can't park there? I'm parking there and you can't stop me. Unless you have a tow truck, you can't stop me. Yeah, the same spot you rolled. I definitely knew better than to let myself go up on the side there. I'm like, no, I've got to go straight and center on this one. If you don't, it's a problem. And then I rolled it anyway. It's okay. We're gonna make best of use of the that trip. I'm not gonna waste any time. See, I'm hoping I don't have to recover that one though, because that's gonna cost me a pretty penny. Yeah, it's okay. It's important for a GMC to have an occasional nap. The truck's okay. He just needs to sleep for a bit. So upset about your last heavy boat. Why would I be upset about your last heavy boat? I'm not the person who tried ringing your bells. Now I've never intentionally hit someone hard yet. There have been a couple people who have made me consider trying. There's been a couple of people where I go, you know, if you're okay with hitting me this hard, maybe I should just be okay with hitting you that hard too. But I try as a rule of thumb, just go, oh, if someone hits me hard enough that I want to hit them harder, I should just not fight them. But in the moment, it's very easy to sit there and go, you deserve to get hit hard. You deserve to be reminded that this is a problem. Okay, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have to go into low diff lock on this corner. Yeah, I wouldn't want to fight with a concave helmet. Sounds like a bad plan. Let's not roll this truck while I'm here. That'd be highly unfortunate. Say, SCA purists. I don't know that that's a thing that actually exists. Every SCAer I know absolutely loves movies like The Three Musketeers, Knight's Tale, Robin Hood Men in Tights. Honestly, sword movies are what got most people into the SCA. So as it turns out, most people in the SCA really like sword movies, even if they're not realistic in the slightest. And that's actually one thing I really like about Knight's Tale. Instead of trying to be realistic about it all, it just goes, well, how do we capture the right feel? Like having "We Will Rock You" in a jousting tournament is phenomenal. There. I'm sure I'll put that money to good use. There are some medieval snobs, but honestly, I'm pretty sure they're just snobs for the sake of being snobs. Inflatable sheep. That sounds like a fun time. I currently have some friends working on a stuffed sheep army. Basically a bunch of stuffed sheep that can be used for objectives in war games. It'll be fun. Hey Snakebite, how's it going? Alright, so right here is where our truck is taking a nap. I may have made mistakes. Okay, well, let's hope this is close enough. Alright, let's see if I can get this. Well, that wasn't too bad. Why don't we just leave this truck right over here? Yeah, I'm not quite sure. We'll see how quickly I get tired today. But we'll see how long I am on. There. Okay. Now let's try this again, but better. You think you had too much OC? Original content? Okay, there. Getting at the top of the hill. Yeah, I don't mind this truck, but this truck is so bouncy. Ah, yes. Overclocking would definitely give you have the risk of giving you stability issues, depending on how high you've gone. Yeah, having lungs that are going to be salty is definitely like heavy fighting takes a lot of oxygen. Your muscles, if you can't breathe well, your muscles are going to fatigue real quick, and that's gonna be a problem. One of my favorite people to fight. He does heavy, he does gun thrust, he does rapier, does everything. he is absent to fight, but just like a bottomless pit of energy. That's why he's good at most of what he does. Is just puts more and more energy into it than everyone else can do. Move lung capacity down 50%. That's a lot. As a mechanic, it's one of the things that I try my best to not. There's quite a few chemicals we encounter that can damage our lungs, and a lot of mechanics get the bad habit of not basically ventilating space correctly, not basically letting dust and letting vapors in the air. It's like, no, gotta protect your lungs. You lose lung capacity, you really feel that. Nope. No. Let's try that again, but more on the road. I would like to not go bouncing down the side of this. Yeah, brake dust is one of the absolute killers. Is like, nope, best to avoid. And that's why we use brake clean to get rid of the brake dust. But then, of course, the brake clean is also bad. Hard to win. Like, why can't I make up there? I didn't lock the diffs. Locking the diffs makes a huge difference. Yep. That's the. It's really easy to not. Like I am not not good at always wearing all of the protective equipment I should be wearing. I have at least once had to go to optometrist to get a piece of metal, like a tiny little piece of metal shrapnel. It's absolutely microscopic. Well, not microscopic, but like it was very small. However, it was embedded into my eye, and that was a problem. So I had to go to them. Where they used it was stuck in there too bad. They couldn't just pull it out, so they had to use a very fancy little medical Dremel, but still just a Dremel, to Dremel it out of the surface of my eye. So I was slightly better about wearing safety glasses after that. Off the road. That'd be cool. We'd enjoy that. I was going to make a joke about the PPE comment. But I figured I was gonna be nice and not make a joke out of it. So I'm glad Long Hauler came in to save the day. I have also caught a lot of stuff in my eye while wearing safety glasses. Because safety glasses do a great job of stopping them from directly striking the eye. But as it turns out, you have like cheekbones below your eye that are really good for bouncing off of and ricocheting something into your eye. I imagine so. Roadcraft is on the new is a new engine, right? So I imagine Roadcraft is a bit more hardware intensive. Definitely feel like if I'm going to stream Roadcraft, I will need a better graphics card than I currently have. Yeah, I have to say, due to the fact of the way eye surgeries are done, they want you awake for pretty much anything they do to your eye, and it sucks. My ex-wife had to go in for quite a few eye surgeries, and those were brutal. I was not envious. I felt bad for her because, yeah, basically we're cutting into the side of her eye, and like, yeah, they've got painkillers involved, but like, same thing with like dentistry, where sure they've got painkillers, you still feel it. Might not hurt, but you still feel it. And yeah, just having them put tools into your eye sounds like an incredibly unpleasant experience. Excellent, you got Expedition. Yeah, I think I'm holding off on buying Expedition just because I'm new to SnowRunner. But Expedition sounds like a lot of fun and is definitely something I'm going to pick up in the future. As I really do like SnowRunner, but I feel like the replayability of it is actually slightly more limited than I would like, just because of the way they've kind of got things set up. Basically, for you to get best not replay, but basically best bang out of continuing to play the game, it's best to keep buying DLCs, which there's a lot of DLCs, so that's not bad. Oh, crap. I knew that was going to be an issue, that little section right there. I was really hoping it wasn't going to tip over. I may have to take them around the long way. What I really wish in this game is that they gave you like a big Mauer crane or something that you could just like lift up, because you can lift up the pickups, like the little scouts, you can lift those up. I have a screenshot of one of my like little Chevy truck being lifted up because I did that. But I wish you could get a big crane that could just lift any truck, because I would like to never have to actually press the recover button. Have a way to be like, no, you don't have to recover. It might be ridiculous and expensive and a pain in the ass, but you can manage with that. I am really annoyed that as the host, I don't see the held for review comments. I don't understand why that doesn't, like, why it works the way it does, but we'll see how recovery of this truck goes. If this recovery does not go well, or actually even if this recovery goes well, I'm probably going to have to consider a different route. Might be longer, but I think that's just going to have to be the way this goes. don't feel like I'm going to have a good success rate from here. But because I've already got everything working against me. Okay, except for that worked actually pretty damn well. Okay, so let's pack the cargo. I do love it. It's like unpack the cargo, and it's those three. Pack the cargo, and there's a lot more. So I'm going to guess that the best way to actually haul logs is as unpacked cargo. Diff lock makes all the difference in the world, which is entirely fair. I wish I could get apply diff lock while in high gears. Thanks. My computer can handle playing Roadcraft, but I've noticed when like playing Spin Tires, my frame rate is cut. Like it's a little more like I lose a bit over half my frame rate when I'm streaming. Just the additional video capture and all that going on. My video card has to work a lot harder, and my frame rate drops off a lot. It's not consistent. Sometimes the drop's a relatively small drop, but most of the time the drop's pretty hefty. Sorry, what is changing in season 17, Joe? I can think back to what I was talking about. I think I could probably guess, but. So video cards are one of those places where I'm really happy to see what AI can do, because AI is really like there's been attempts to sort of make AI a video game, one that's like the AI is constantly making as it goes, and AI just doesn't have the ability to remember what was going on prior enough to really be right there. But stuff where between the different frames, AI can kind of guess. Like if you're playing at 30 frames a second, and you go, "Hey AI, just guess what the next 3 frames are going to be," and then it gives you the next 3 frames, and then it gives you another real frame. So that's not enough. That basically, if it got it wrong, you're not really going to notice as much. You might notice like something might just like feel off a little bit. But it's going to do a lot to give you a really smooth video without the actual load of having to process everything going on. And as companies get more used to this being a thing, they can actually sort of tell AI sort of what to expect. Be like, okay, well, the way the game's designed, AI is going to basically go in with knowledge of, okay, well, this is what it could all be happening. So it's going to be able to even guess better than just going, well, this is what I've seen in the past. It's sort of coming with pre-knowledge. Okay, now I need to just make it down here without rolling. Oh, this truck is so rolly. I'm not surprised it spends a lot of time on its side. Well, I look forward to seeing what Season 17 has to offer. I know one of the more recent updates, I think it was gave the foldable trailer for logging, and unfortunately that just seems like that was not worth it. So I do hope what they've got planned works out well. I would love to see logging be set up a little bit better. So I'm really salty about the price of RAM right now. I would like to buy a little bit of RAM. Not that I need RAM, I'm fine with the RAM I have, but I'd like to buy RAM, but it has just gone ridiculously expensive. So I'd like to buy some DDR5, but currently not in the budget. I'd spend over $1,000 on the RAM I want. Okay. Yeah, the AI has just absolutely decimated the RAM market. I assume at some point we'll recover from that, to some extent anyway. The way we recovered with the video card market no longer being completely insane. But until then, off to go get fuel I do. Man, I burned through a lot of fuel on that. That's a lot of fuel. Yeah, hard mode is, I think, a little too brutal for me at the moment. You really have to plan out your routes ahead of time. I more or less tried going for a pretty sort of like hard mode setup, but with the one exception of, like basically I've put in a couple exceptions that help make the whole thing not quite as brutal. Although I think, basically I accidentally gave myself a cheat that was, I don't know how to not do, I don't know how to fix it. But basically the little sort of cheat I've accidentally given myself is basically when you buy anything that contains fuel, it comes with the fuel in it. But you can still then sell it and then buy a new one full of fuel, and that's more cost effective than actually buying or than paying for the fuel through the regular method. I don't think do I, hold on, let's stop, let's see, do I have, okay, no I don't have, let's pull a truck out of storage, there, Kodiak, let's leave the garage with it, go for a quick little jaunt over here. So fuel carrier costs 5 grand, and it gives me 2,000 liters of fuel. Well, 2,000 liters of fuel in its own is going to cost me 4 grand, so it's only 900 bucks more for a trailer that can haul the fuel, and basically in addition to the fuel. But then I can sell it back for $2,400 or $2,450. So I'm only paying $2,450 for 2,000 liters of fuel. So just buying a fuel trailer and then selling it back is more cost effective than buying fuel. Hard mode fixes that by just not letting you sell trailers, period. Which, I'd rather not do that. But I don't know how to stop that from being a thing I can exploit without being like, yep, you just can't sell trailers. I mean, I guess I could reduce the sale price of trailers even more, because I've got them at 50% sale price, which I think is a good amount. But it ends up being a little bit of a problem with the fact that the trailer comes with fuel. How do you view the rest of the screen? So I'm currently streaming the full stream, like the full view, as well as the vertical. You're currently on the vertical stream. If you click on the 3Js and look for the horizontal full screen, you will get all of the screen there. So always stream vertical and horizontal at the same time. Some people on their phones prefer the vertical. Most people prefer the horizontal. I believe in you. You can pick your way through this. I don't know how this route's like. I have concerns about taking this route with logs as well. I don't know if this route's going to be better with logs. Well, and so Joey, that's actually what I was expecting, because I have all of the settings. Like, I basically made the settings as close to hard mode as I could, with a few exceptions, like the fact that yes, I can sell trucks and trailers, but only for 50% of their value. And I thought that was going to be a good balance of making it a little bit easier than hard mode, but still have more or less the hard mode experience. But the tankers come full of fuel, and I'm like, well, there's no setting to change that. I'm playing on PC. I got this on Steam. That was not great. All right. Let's slog our way through this. On Xbox One. Nice. I haven't played SnowRunner on console, but I'm playing with an Xbox One controller, so I imagine that I am having a pretty similar experience. The only exception, the only thing I'm getting from PC is the fact that I get to have my Toyota 4Runner mod, which is definitely not something I really need, but man, am I happy to have. I'll try my best to not blow a tire on, but I make no promises. So you have a new YouTube UI. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a good crossing with logs attached. Not without putting another truck here to help pull me through. Oh, yeah, you can no longer change video speed. I'm salty about that. Because, yeah, if I basically want to catch up on basically if I'm watching a live stream and let's say I want to catch up on 15 minutes of live stream that basically was happening before I got there, but I don't want to give up on current, I could sit there and go, okay, well, I'm going to fast forward it, play it at like 1.5 speed, and then it takes a little bit, but then I'm caught up and can get the full, basically I still have caught all of the live stream. So Jess still can. Yeah, I cannot either. Because I noticed that last weekend when I was watching your stream one, that I no longer could I could no longer change the speed. I'm gonna go steal a potato chip and then crunch into the mic like an awful human being. Okay, come on, let's get out of the mud. Hold on. No, I would not like to exit OBS. That seems like this would be a very inconvenient thing at the moment. So I really like being able to change the speed of videos because probably an ADHD thing, but I will, like if I'm trying to listen for content, people just talk too slowly. I might just get to the part where you tell me the info. And people will never get there quick enough. So I'll basically watch videos on 1.5 or 2 times speed and just be like, alright, come on, just info dump this on me. Probably also part of the reason why I don't mind when people like info dump on me, where they just suddenly like someone's really excited to share a thing and they just like blitz off telling you everything about a thing, and I'm like, I don't mind this. This is this is my preferred way to get information. Just like grab my ear, dump information in, and let's go. There you go, Juan, being AFK again. So maybe you should be present more. Well, I don't think I'm going to make it through that flooded section without problems. I feel like I'm probably going to roll it again if I try that one. I could just try to go around and scoop that. What am I saving? Or I could just go all the way down and come up. Maybe I just do that. I'm just going to take the road. Just going to pretend like I'm... No, damn it. Just going to pretend like I'm not insane and just actually do this the... Okay. I am fast forwarding through the night. I don't feel like doing this run in the night. Okay, let's do this run like a sane person. Let's take the full route. Would actually love to respec this truck. I set it more for highway stuff, but honestly, highway stuff doesn't happen that often, so maybe that's just not the right choice. That is where I really like the idea of playing Roadcraft. I honestly feel like would really love to play Roadcraft combined with this game. Basically, I want to be able to do all of this stuff without having to build the roads, but when I sit there and go, you know, this section sucks and this section really needs a road, that's the point where I want to go fix the road. Come on. I have faith in you. Let's do this. Yeah, that's the same thing I do, where I basically will winch across the river, but it's slow. And it might be faster than going all the way down and around. But if I had this thing fully set up for off-road, if I had better tires on it and the off-roading gears, I'd probably try it. But I don't think that this truck is going to do it happily. My friend was, my coworker was showing me pictures from that news story. Passed out, passed a raccoon in the bathroom, and it's like that seems like a very human experience for a raccoon. Getting sloshed and passing out in the bathroom. I can only imagine like going into work and being like, oh shit, what do we do? Is this raccoon going to be okay? Animals getting drunk, like you got like sometimes like birds will eat fruit that has started to ferment, so they'll end up getting drunk. Like, but animals getting drunk is always one of those things that's like it's a very funny experience, just because like they must not know what the hell's going on, so they make some very poor choices, and I'd make fun of them for it. But then also look at humans making the same damn choices. I'm like, well, all right, I guess I can let the raccoons get away with it. I won't criticize them. They're doing their best. Cocaine bear. That cocaine bear sounds like a terrifying thing. We have a lot of bears in this area, but they're all small bears, and they're more afraid of us than we are of them. But there's a lot of bears that are terrifying normally. I don't want to see those on cocaine. I also don't want to see like a little black bear on cocaine either, because that would still be horrifying. Like a raccoon on cocaine would be horrifying. I spent a couple grand in fuel just for this mission. You can do it. I believe in you. You're back, but only kind of. Alright. Yeah, I'm not sure where you are, Volition, but it was heavy snowfall here today, so I was very happy to be on new winter tires here. It was like heavy slushy snow that if it builds up on ice surfaces is an absolute hazard. But alright, take this nice and slow. No need to damage anything. I do wish you could fix it like this. Like, we've built several bridges. Can we not fix this little bit of road? Can we not fix that washout? That'd be fantastic. Alright. Open field and off we go. Now I need to make one more run. So I'm going to take the short way back and then do another run the long way. The long way is fine. I have definitely done that where I like go to accelerate and the car is like, hold on. We have like a penny's worth of grip out here. So you're going to have to be patient. Brown Bear camping made his home in the bottom of a cabin in Jasper. Imagine that'd be a rude awakening. You come to your own cabin and there's a bear that's claimed it. But also, the bear lives there more full time than you do, so maybe he's got more right to it than you do. Because you can't expect the bear to buy the property. Because I'm pretty sure legally it's not allowed to, so the system isn't just. Yeah, okay, I deserved that little bump. This didn't hurt me. Yes, bear will invoke squatter's rights. I've been here too long, you can't kick me out anymore. Well, I'd say if a bear wants to take my cabin, it has to fight me for it, but depending on the size of the bear, I might just let the bear have the cabin. There's a lot of bears I don't want to fight. Actually, there's no bears I want to fight. There are just some bears that I'm confident enough that they're more scared of me than I am of them, that I'd be willing to try to scare them off. But if even a very small, like, black bear wanted to fight me, I would... If it wants to fight me, I don't want to fight it. How about we don't go up the side and roll my truck? That'd be great. So I really like to go camping in a hammock and just like spring up between trees. And I'm always like, I'm not high enough up. Like to a bear, I'm a convenient height food bag. It's my one problem with hammock camping. Sorry, there was a bear attack in Japan, the army went after it, but they were armed with sticks. If I'm in the army and you want me to hunt a bear, I'm going to ask for more than a stick. Ask me not hurt the bear is fine, but you need to give me something better than a stick. Alright, into low gear, into... oh. There. That. Did I accidentally hit the park brake? Is that what I did? Okay. Pretty sure that was me just accidentally putting on the parking brake that caused all the problem. This whole run is a lot of effort. I can only imagine how some of the log runs get later in the game. Right now I'm happy to do all the missions on my own. There might be a point where I hit where I'm like, just sitting there being like, come on, long hauler, please come save me. They want me to run way too many logs. Or at some point I'll unlock the mammoth and just be like, nope, don't care anymore. I feel like the mammoth is not capable of just handling everything. But it seems like a pretty capable vehicle. Also, I feel like its biggest downside is going to be the fact that it's big. That's the whole thing where a lot of the bears are big enough that they're not necessarily, like, even if they're scared of you when they, like, if you, like, so my boss has a brown bear that lives near his place. There was a point where it was in his kitchen, and like his wife was in the kitchen making food, and this brown bear wandered in. And of course, she was very startled and made some noise when she realized there was a bear coming in looking for lunch. And of course, that startled the bear, and the bear buggered off. So, generally, most bears, when they're in tight space and they encounter a human where they're not so expecting it, they're going to be startled and they're going to run. However, when they're out in their own territory, space that they feel comfortable, humans are not big enough to really frighten them. They're just gonna go, okay, well, you're being obnoxious, you're making noise, I don't want to deal with you, but I'm also not scared of you. I'm not gonna run away. Hey Blue Lock, how's it going? Oh. Let's be very careful about how we do this. Not quite how I meant to handle that, but you know what? Successfully navigated alive. We'll take it. I promise I'm capable of driving. I'm just not demonstrating it very well at the moment. I'm definitely looking forward to trying some of the other vehicles other than this. Yeah, I will avoid log trailers as much as I can. Like, I am going to eventually have to end up dealing with log trailers. Just because I'm gonna... Oh. not see that one. At some point I'm going to have to deal with log trails just because I'm not going to have the patience to run separate. Basically, I'm not going to have the patience to run the load twice as often as I need to. But for now, I'm like, no, I'd rather just deliver with the truck than deliver with the trailer. If I'm only going to get one load of medium logs there, I want it to be on the truck. I mean, any of the trailers with 2 hinge points, I can't back up to save my life. If you just have a single big rig trailer, I can back that up just fine. That is no problem. That makes complete sense to me. As soon as you have 2 pivot points, I'm good. I'm gone. I'm not gonna make this. I'm not gonna be able to do it without a ton of cursing. Although I will say the basically 2 equal length trailers I do a lot better at than the really short little pivot point, just like from your hitch to the front of the trailer, and then the trailer as its own whole thing. I cannot do those. I just suck at those so bad. Such a tippy damn truck. To fuel up before I get to the cheaper gas station. Yeah, this is a really relaxing game that way. It is a good game for basically it doesn't take all your focus. Honestly, this game's a lot like driving. When I'm driving, I love listening to audiobooks or podcasts, and just you can kind of split your focus that way very well. And this game's got the same thing where you're just going from place to place, and it's really easy. Just you wanna listen to something, you wanna listen to some YouTube, you wanna listen to some podcasts. It's easy to listen to while playing. There's no dialogue to try to track, no like intense problem solving. It's more just sort of relaxed. The goals are pretty straightforward and simple. The tough part is the fighting your way through the mud to get there. Okay, I'm going to make the choice to not fill up here. I have faith that I'll make it to the far gas station. Let's not bounce this off the road. There it begins, the yawning. I always wish I could stay up later gaming on Fridays, but the work week has always taken its toll by then. Hey Evade, how's it going? Had to take a moment. I'm like, what name do I give you? What name do I call you by? Yeah, you are currently on the vertical stream, which is arguably the worst stream. The horizontal stream is definitely the better one. But the vertical one just gets popped out to more people, so I keep running it. The view count on the vertical tends to be about 10 times higher than the horizontal. But it also has a view time. Basically, the average duration is about 1/20th of it. But it does help put the content in front of other people that might otherwise just not have ever seen my streams at all. Yep, YouTube's pushing that short content. And I notice it kind of comes and goes in waves. There's points where like it kind of drops off and I'm not really getting any views through the vertical. And then other times where the vertical, like if I don't do vertical, my horizontal streams suffer. Okay, well I've got this load to deliver. These are actually not big logs, these are medium logs. I feel like they're relatively large, but the game insists they're medium. They're certainly heavy enough. So one thing I do appreciate about this game is that it does, like the vehicles feel weighty. Yes, this truck does, like, it has the biggest engine in it because I wanted to have enough power to pull everything, but it just chugs gas as a side effect. Bam, done. Nice 4,500 bucks. I'll take it. Okay, now what am I doing next? I don't have any quest left for this one, so figure out that. So I need to take wooden planks over to Smithfield Dam. That is a good one. So I might actually be the one to keep on going with. And then there is also timber to Smithfield Dam, but I'm gonna hold off on it. Hauling logs is a bit of a pain in the ass. Drummond Island. Okay, well I'm gonna take this out of the cargo zone there, and I'm just gonna park it over here. Park it in someone else's business. Well, it's out of my way, so that's good enough for me. But this poor person's just getting double parked by a big truck. Alright, let's hop back to this vehicle. It's, you know, just up a mountain between trees. It's fine. At least I didn't have to play rescue with this truck again. Oh. Yeah, you're away from your PC. That is unfortunate. I do not have a SnowRunner yet. I've actually just started scouting the second map. Having a SnowRunner for this would be fantastic. Because I basically played with the 4Runner enough, just enough to kind of get its capabilities. When it's upgraded, its capabilities are pretty fantastic. There's multiple versions of the 4Runner mod. The other ones, the 4Runner was just incredibly capable right out of the gate. Like, they basically gave it like S ranks and everything, except for fuel consumption. Still, it's kind of weird to me how they do the fuel consumption. Like, an S rating in fuel consumption means it is an absolute pig and is going to just guzzle gas. As it turns out, that is not what I want. But, so, it basically has a low rating in fuel consumption, which, as an owner of a 4Runner, is incorrect. The 4Runner is not good on gas. It might be good on gas compared to a big rig, but, like, it gets the same fuel economy as a pickup truck with having to haul a lot less weight than a pickup truck. Fuel economy is not a strong point of it. But I do still enjoy the vehicle, and it's a very capable off-road vehicle. So it should do that well. And that is the mod I have, where its fuel economy ain't great. Completely stock, its off-road capabilities are alright, but not that great. But by the time you get it upgraded, it's actually really great. I mean, you can actually, the latest gen of 4Runners, you can actually get a hybrid 4Runner. And I do believe it is a plug-in hybrid, which really could, like, it's significantly more powerful, and it's significantly better on gas. The downside being is, part of what makes the 4Runner so robust is the fact they were like, we're just running on old tech. We're basically just running on old, like, basically a 2015 4Runner like mine, off-roads like Toyota trucks have for the last, like, basically has been using the Toyota tech from off-roading for the last 20 years. Toyota hasn't put a lot of research and development into off-roading in the last 20 years. So the new tech just isn't better at it, unfortunately. But it is still... I haven't seen enough on the Land Cruiser to have an opinion on whether it's actually worth it. I like the idea, but I'm not actually sure if it is. Hold on, I had a mission. The mission was to pick up wooden planks. Why did I drive past the place that has wooden planks? Yeah, so I'd be curious to dig a bit deeper into the Land Cruiser and see if they actually built it well, or if it's just a cash grab. Bouncy little truck. The Bronco, I've checked out the Bronco. The Bronco is very lackluster, so definitely not something I am impressed by. But a lot of the retro styling stuff is, it's all basically style over substance. Do I have locking diffs? Yes. This truck has pretty much everything I've got set up for locking diffs. Or yes, for my real life vehicle. But yes, locking diffs. Locking diffs are great. The one thing that kind of bugs me in the game though is you can't lock diffs in anything except for low gear, and on a big rig you should absolutely be able to lock the diffs at any gear. Because, like, I should be able to lock the diffs in high. I will absolutely make that argument. So I actually work on a 1984 Toyota Land Cruiser. One of our customers has one that's been resto modded. And it actually irks me a bit. He's got buy supply tires on it. Which, if you're doing a full restoration, cool. But then he's also got like LED headlights, and I'm like, at that point, just get some nice off-road tires and don't deal with old shitty tires. Because buy supply tires are not great. Yeah, I feel like getting an old Land Cruiser and like go exploring in like a place that doesn't have roads as an arc. I'll just that's definitely a bit of a dream for of those things where you're like, that'd be cool. That just has this like really nice image to it. You know, torsion diffs in a Ranger. That'd be a cool thing to do. I actually really like the older like Ford Rangers. Like, I don't remember the years that were best, but like Ford Rangers were really great. They're just a little lackluster right now. Well, that's where the old Land Rover Defender and the Land Cruiser are really cool vehicles for the whole. Like, they were just built where it was like, roads? This vehicle does not drive well on roads. You best avoid the roads. You'll be better off if you just don't do roads. Alrighty. Should probably pick up fuel before I do anything else. I do not have trailer access, which means I'll have to do this as 2 separate runs. I could have picked up a trailer earlier and then picked up fuel here, and then I could have done this in 1 run, 1 delivery. Alright, Lorecraft, have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, Volition, hold on, I'm taking the wrong, this is going to be, I'm making a choice here. Actually, if I'm going to make choices, I can make choices, there, in daytime. I can have some better light for making poor life choices. So at least I know what sort of mud bucket I'm getting myself stuck in. But sorry, yeah, Volition, I do agree. The new ones are just like, the cars keep having the trend of new cars are too big and heavy. And I understand why, because crash test ratings on big trucks, like big vehicles, just do better. Because I feel like crash test ratings should be required to be done against like the same size vehicle, same weight of vehicle as the one that's being tested, which isn't actually a good comparison, because like if you're out in a Miata, that Miata is not going to do as well when it's getting hit by a Ford F-150. So it makes complete reasonable sense to go, well, we should test it against things that it's actually going to encounter in the world. But the problem is, then everyone just looks at the rating and goes, oh, these big vehicles are just so much safer. And it's like, yes, but also no. Like, it's more complex than that. I'm really happy to have that winch currently attached, because I'm pretty sure I would have gone over sideways if that had not been the thing. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of little considerations that go into a vehicle. And unfortunately, a lot of it goes into getting people to buy, like basically the things that people look at when they're buying a vehicle isn't what they actually need in a vehicle. I should probably put it in 4x4 mode. This might help me a lot. I don't know when I took it out of 4x4 mode. So doing cargo delivery or exploring? Why not both? Oh, hold on. Hold on. Glad I looked at the map. How did I miss that tower? Oh my goodness, I am blind. I need to go have my eyes checked. Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Like, if you're driving a Mini Cooper and you hit a big rig, you're gonna be gone, and the big rig's gonna have a dented fender. They'll take the big rig to the shop and they'll go, "What did you hit? A moose?" And I'll be like, "No, I hit a car." And I was like, "Oh, well, it can't have been a big car." So the moose might do more damage than the car. Yes, Volition, I also want a small truck that is not controlled through a fucking iPad. Like, I like tablets. Tablets are great. Don't put them in my vehicle. Give me some damn buttons. That's actually, I own a 2015 4Runner and not a newer one. Almost entirely. Actually, entirely. Because the newer one was like, we basically got a tablet. I'm like, nope, don't want it. I don't want a tablet as my interface for everything. Like, if I buy a brand new one, I can have everything I want. Like, what do you have on the lot used? Because I do not want to just have, like, I like being able to hit a button. I like being able to change the volume by turning a knob, because that means I don't have to take my eyes off the road to do this. This road is, I don't think this is a road anymore. Dear farmers, have you considered petitioning your local council member to do something about the road conditions? Because you're paying road tax. I feel like you deserve something a little bit better for the road tax you pay. This is pretty rude. Alright, bricks are delivered. There's an upgrade in the hills over here. I could go by and grab that. Hey, Grave Reaper, how's it going? I would like to explore this way more, but I should probably... screw it. Adventure time. Let's see where this goes. Actually, let's just mark this on my map, because if I can work my way here, I will do it. And then I can expose the surrounding area. Is that actually... okay, so that is actually a road. Glad you're doing good. Thanks for the stop in. I hope you have a good night. I'm tired enough that I might end up going to bed soon, but at the same time, it's not that late here. I'm on the West Coast, so it's not even 10 yet. But my brain keeps going into the, oh, it's late, and I look at the time and I'm like, it's not that late. Alright, Volition, have a good night. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi. Drilling site this direction. Alright, well, let's see what trouble we get into if we go this direction. This looks like fun. It can't possibly be too deep. Well, at least that wasn't too wrong on it being too deep. It is, however, really, really soupy. I'm not getting through this fast. I wish you could get some water tires. It wouldn't be worth it most of the time because you're not going through enough water to warrant it. But oh, this is a good road for a scout, or just a truck that's big enough to just bowl everything over. Lucky I brought the second, so I did not bring the first. Once again, I'm going to keep just hoping that this road is not suddenly going to plunge my truck. Like, my snorkel's pretty high up. I could definitely go deeper than this. But still, I'd like to know. Hold on. In 3 minutes, it's going to be 12 a.m. My time is currently 9:53. Nowhere is offset, so I feel like you must be incorrect. I feel like in 7 minutes it's going to be 12 a.m. Mind you, I shouldn't just assume that the internet time is actually correct. It's more correct than I'm going to be, but what's that available for? International Transstar. Should be on the lookout for trucks. Ah, Manitoba. It's actually one thing I did kind of enjoy about living in Manitoba was the fact that you're in the central time zone. You're like on the West Coast. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in East Coast time zone that's just way farther ahead of you. On the East Coast, you have things going on way after you. Manitoba, it's kind of an even split. Nothing's that far out of bounds. Hey Patrick, how's it going? Oh man, this mud is just horrendous. I am not getting any closer to that tower. Hello. Might end up getting closer to the other tower. We'll see. Do I go back or do I go forward? I feel like I'm going to drop that and see if I can get to this tower since I'm already here. Actually, I should look at my fuel. We're going to scrap the plan. We're going to head back. Fuel's important. I'm going to need that. Let's not stall this thing. I really wish you could just drive, like this game had a manual transmission option. I would love to just be able to manually shift all my gears. Because I feel like it would add challenge to the game, but in a good way. Because it would also really help. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those things where I find, basically, if I want to watch an event that's happening, like that starts early in the morning, but is in the East Coast, I have to get up at like 5 or 6 in the morning to watch something, and I'm like, I dislike having to like get up early to watch entertainment. But if it's happening late at night, that's fantastic. Like if it's happening at like 10 p.m. Eastern time. That's going to be like, yep, done work, time to go watch the thing, and that was working great. So, things that happen late, it's great being on the West Coast. Things that happen early, it sucks. Okay, stop hurting my engine. I would really like to not be beating this up as much as I am. That is where taking a scout probably would have been the smart choice. When do we ever do the smart choice here? Ooh, there's the dam. Okay. So that's been sorted out. Yeah, I've got to get myself sorted out with a better scout. So actually, I finally have enough money. I could buy myself a 4Runner as a scout. It'll just be just the 4Runner, not any. Like, might put some tires on it. That'll be about it. But I really won't be able to afford much more for it. But I could afford to get it. That would at least be handy. This is definitely not a road meant for this truck. Let's go this way. This road's rough. Certainly wouldn't want to take my motorcycle along this road. It's still a road though, at least. It could be worse. No, rude. Poor engine. Like, it's not taking a lot of damage on each of the hits, but it is taking damage so many times. Let's just take a quick gander at the dam. least the roads here are good. But imagine that corner is going to be a bit of a pain with some longer trailers. But yeah. I'm going to turn around because I don't want to head out too far this way. As curious as I am as to what's all in this area. Yeah, no, I am not going to, I'm not going to Austin Powers turn my way around this. I'm just going to drive to the edge of the end of the dam and turn around. This is absolutely just the smarter choice. And may as well take on this mission while I'm here. This is probably just going to be another wooden road. This one's my single player game. This is not my multiplayer game. So I was last Sunday I started a new multiplayer game with Juan. We've got it set up a little more hardcore mode. Like, it's still not hard mode, but closer to hard mode that we're playing. That game is still going. This one is just my own game without any help. I'd love to know what exactly hurt my truck there, but that thing just gets so floaty as soon as you get any speed behind it. Like, I've driven some off-road vehicles that are absolutely horrendous when you get them above anything. Like 80 kilometers an hour is absolutely, like, they're horrendous to drive at. Those things at like 20 miles an hour already sucks. Suspension damage is not surprising. Alright, well. Okay. You're conveniently close here. Let's refuel out of you. And I can also... No, I can't repair out of you without connecting to you. But that's not that hard to do. There, okay, let's go pick up some fuel and then bring that over to the farm. Below business, no stop sign, just a yield. I do feel like I'd be curious to see how this game would go with traffic. The floaty driving mechanics. That would be that'd be interesting at the very least. Alright, there we go. Loaded up with fuel. Let's go deliver to that farm. It's a lot of fuel to deliver to a farm. Like, I feel like if a farm was wanting this much fuel delivered, they wouldn't be getting it delivered by the barrel. They'd be getting it delivered to basically by a tanker truck that's just going to fill their tanks. I've seen smaller like wineries and farms that have like a couple fuel barrels around that are filling out of fuel drums. But most places, if they're doing like on their own storage, they're going to have like a couple 1,000-liter drum or a couple 1,000-liter tank that's going to be holding the fuel. I definitely had one farmer who was getting us to change his fuel filter more frequently because the rust in his tank was causing his tractor to have issues all the time. And in a move of not protecting my own profitability as the people doing the work, I basically asked him, like, why don't you put a fuel filter in line on your fuel pump, so whatever you're pumping your fuel into, it's getting filtered before you put it in the thing. And he had probably never thought of that, and we stopped getting that service work after he still got us to do his service work, but like we did not have to go there as often to fix his or replace his fuel filters. And there are just times where people seem to just sort of miss the obvious answer, and they're paying someone else to do things the hard way. And of course, when people are making money off it, they're not going to tell you that, hey, you can be doing this better. They tend to just be like, yep, keep calling us and doing the thing, and I'm like, that's just not how I'm wired. Okay, I think after this load, I'm going to get the other truck delivered and get it over here. And then I'm probably going to call it for the night. My eyes are starting to get heavy. It's not even 11. This mission, have I accepted this mission? Done. All right, let's get this truck out of here. Alright, Joey, have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later. best way through here is. Not sure if there really is a best way, or if this is just a every way sucks. But I feel like this is a good way right here, sticking along the left, if you don't have cargo. If I had cargo, I feel like that would be a little less optimal. Upgrade over there. I may as well go get it. I don't know before, but I'm sure it'll be handy to have. This is a road? Are we sure this is a road? I feel like whether this is a road or not is somewhat questionable. Well, at least there's not turn around up here. That'll be a good chunk of money. I definitely don't need it, but it can still be worth money. Low gear anymore. Why am I still there? Just drifting my truck here. Yeah, nothing to see. Let's refuel it. And then it goes into the garage. Head over to Black River. Hop into the GMC. Little stop just to, because I know the road south is blocked. I don't remember what I need to get for it, so make a stop there and just set up that mission. This might also be a good time to give this truck a little more off-road capabilities. At some point I'll have to consider looking for its replacement. Definitely don't plan on selling it, but I'd like to look at perhaps some more capable trucks. See what's out there. Let's not drift this into the ditch. That is rude. I really do feel like the highway transmission is not that. I'm just kind of wasted this game. Like, you should be able to at least fix up the main loop so that you can drive it at full speed without damaging your vehicle. Let's not be going off the road. Pass in first. This truck just slides way too easy. I need to just stop with everything that's not... I mean, mind you, actually, I think I have all-terrain tires on this. Like, I'm not even bothering with... mind you, that might be part of why I'm sliding it. Not bothering with highway tires at all. Mind you, that again, no. Everything was really kind of floaty to begin with, even before like when I had the stock highway tires on it. So I think unfortunately this is just a feature of how the game handles highways. Be trying to deliver parts here with this truck. Forgot this road was crap. Now I have to get out of this mess. And not roll this bastard while I'm doing it. Get those diffs locked. div lock just makes such a huge difference. Okay. Yes, this is the road. Finally back on the actual road. I think I've taken this mission. Just, drive in the middle of the front yard. This is fine. Oh, maybe I have. This is the... Yeah, lost trailer. Okay. Let's get this truck over to the garage. All I need to do is make it there without drifting it too bad. Okay, and just not smash into one of the toll. This gotta be. I just don't know, like, what those exactly are. Does it make sense for every tolls? I don't. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I've made it back to the garage, which means I no longer have trucks scattered around. We've made some decent progress. I've got some more. I'm gonna have to send a scout out to try to get that one, because that's not gonna be an easy one to get to. Because that's gonna be a lot of. Oh, I see. There's a road that vaguely goes there. And then try to get some of these as well. I think scout with a fuel trailer might be the best thing for scouting around. I guess we'll see. But all right. With that, I'm gonna head off. I hope you guys all have a good night. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will catch you later. Take care.